What if NHL Legends played in the Modern NHL Season Sim from 2021 to 2024? In this NHL What If scenario, I'll be doing a simulation from 2021 to 2024 using the rosters with the NHL Legends. All historic Legends have a cap hit of $6.6 million per season and can't be traded. The cap at the start of the simulation is $98.7 million and will go up 5% every year. I will only be doing the 2021 draft in this scenario. Every draft afterwards I will not be doing. All RFAs get re-signed by their own team, and retired players in this scenario don't count towards the cap. We start this simulation off at the expansion draft, as Seattle is expected to enter the league in 2021. Seattle acquires Adam Fox in a first round pick in 2025 from the Washington Capitals to not select Ilya Samsonov or Braden Holtby. Seattle also acquires a first round pick in 2023 from the LA Kings to select David Backes. Seattle trades Tyson Jost, Danton Heinen, and a first round pick in 2023 to the Vancouver Canucks for Bo Horvat. Seattle also trades Adrian Kempe, Cody Eakin, and Tobias Ryder to the Vegas Golden Knights for Alex Tuch, Adam Gaudette, and a second round pick in 2023. Seattle also trades Pavel Zacha, Mark Pysyk, and a first round pick in 2024 to the Buffalo Sabres for Casey Mittelstadt and Lawrence Pouliot. Then Seattle trades Andreas Johnsson, Drake Caggiula, and a second round pick in 2023 to the Florida Panthers for Mike Hoffman and Dennis Malgin. Seattle also trades a second round pick in 2026 and the third round pick in 2024 to the New York Rangers for Matt Zuccarello. Evan Rodriguez and Dylan DeMello are traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Josh Anderson and a fifth round pick in 2026. Mikko Koskinen is traded to the Carolina Hurricanes for a third round pick in 2022. And Mark Jankowski is traded to the New Jersey Devils for a third round pick in 2023. Notable 2021 draft picks: San Jose Sharks select Joshua Waugh, Minnesota Wild select Fabian Lysell, New York Rangers select Samu Tumala, Montreal Canadiens select Atu Ratti, New York Islanders select Cameron Wynot, Anaheim Ducks select Jeremy Wilmer, Detroit Red Wings select Brent Clark, Chicago Blackhawks select Cameron McDonald, Arizona Coyotes select Simon Robertson, and the Florida Panthers select Jesper Wallstedt. Henrik Lundqvist, Jason Spezza, Kyle Oposo, Louis Eriksson, Ryan Kessler, Dion Phaneuf, David Backes, Valtteri Filppula, Blake Como, and Jay Beagle retire from the NHL. A three-team trade is made between the Arizona Coyotes, Edmonton Oilers, and Seattle. The Arizona Coyotes get Ryan Murray, Nick Ritchie, and Ryan Donato. Edmonton Oilers get Alex Killorn, Radko Gudas, and a second round pick in 2023. Seattle gets Nick Merkley, a second round pick in 2024, and a third round pick in 2022. A three-team trade is made between the Columbus Blue Jackets, Detroit Red Wings, and San Jose Sharks. Columbus Blue Jackets get Dustin Brown and Kasperi Kapanen. Detroit Red Wings get Ryan McGinnis, Sonny Milano, and Brendan Dillon. San Jose Sharks get Evgeny Svechnikov and a second round pick in 2022. Anaheim Ducks trade Troy Terry and Jamie Drysdale to the New York Rangers for Alexander Holtz, Vladislav Nemesnikov, and a second round pick in 2023. Then the Anaheim Ducks trade Marcus Johansson and Marcus Kruger to the LA Kings for Sam Bennett and a third round pick in 2023. Arizona Coyotes trade David Krejci and Ryan Donato to the Washington Capitals for TJ Oshie and Brett Connolly. Then the Coyotes acquire Anton Khudobin from the Dallas Stars for a fifth round pick in 2024 and a sixth round pick in 2025. Edmonton Oilers trade Jonathan Drouin to the San Jose Sharks for Kevin LeBanc and a first round pick in 2024. The Edmonton Oilers also trade Oliver Borkstrand, Ethan Bear, and the first round pick in 2025 to the Florida Panthers for Sami Vatanen and Grigory Denisenko. Wayne Simmons is traded to Seattle for a second round pick in 2024 and a third round pick in 2023. New Jersey Devils acquire Colton Parayko from the St. Louis Blues for Dante Fabro, Blake Coleman, and a first round pick in 2024. New Jersey Devils trade Will Butcher to the LA Kings for Carl Grundstrom and a second round pick in 2023. New York Islanders acquire Joe Pavelski and Brent Burns from the San Jose Sharks for Kiefer Bellows, Michael Dal Cole, Devin Taves, and a first round pick in 2022. The Islanders also trade Johnny Boychuk to the Dallas Stars for a third round pick in 2022 and a third round pick in 2024. New York Rangers trade Tanner Pearson, Ryan Strome, and a first round pick in 2023 to the San Jose Sharks for Timo Meier and Melker Karlsson. The Rangers also trade Vinny Hinostraza and a third round pick in 2023 to the St. Louis Blues for Alex Steen. Buffalo Sabres acquire Nicholas Hague from the Vegas Golden Knights for Alex Nylander. Calgary Flames acquire Lucas Wallmark from the Carolina Hurricanes for a third round pick in 2024. Carolina Hurricanes trade James Neal to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Brian Rust, Teddy Bluger, and a second round pick in 2022. Colorado Avalanche trade Philip Grubauer to the Detroit Red Wings for a second round pick in 2022 and a fourth round pick in 2024. Columbus Blue Jackets trade Andrew Peeke to the Arizona Coyotes for a third round pick in 2022 and a fourth round pick in 2024. 2025. Dallas Stars trade Alex Radulov and Matthias Janmark to the Philadelphia Flyers for JVR and a third-round pick in 2023. Florida Panthers trade Samuel Montembeault to the New York Islanders for a third-round pick in 2023 and a fifth-round pick in 2024. LA Kings trade Alec Martinez and Blake Litzel to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Darnell Nurse and a third-round pick in 2022. Minnesota Wild trade Jonas Brodin to the Washington Capitals for a second-round pick in 2022 and a second-round pick in 2026. Ottawa Senators acquired Devin Dubnyk from the Minnesota Wild for Jake Allen, Jonathan Davidson, and a second-round pick in 2022. Seattle trades Alex Galchenyuk and Ivan Barbashev to the Dallas Stars for Roope Hintz. Washington Capitals acquire Anthony Duclair from the Ottawa Senators for a fifth-round pick in 2022. A three-team trade is made between the San Jose Sharks, Vancouver Canucks, and Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins get Mario Ferraro and Michael Frolik. San Jose Sharks get Oli Juolevi and Carson Kuhlman. Vancouver Canucks get Dylan Gambrell, Connor Clifton, and a second-round pick in 2024. Another three-team trade is made between the Ottawa Senators, Anaheim Ducks, and Florida Panthers. Ottawa Senators get Max Jones and a third-round pick in 2024. Florida Panthers get Bobby Ryan and Sam Steele. Anaheim Ducks get Oliver Borkstrand and Logan Brown. Anaheim Ducks re-sign Ryan Getzlaf and Corey Perry. Boston Bruins re-sign Tuukka Rask and Sean Kuraly. Chicago Blackhawks re-sign Brandon Saad and Artem Anisimov. Montreal Canadiens re-sign Brendan Gallagher and Eric Goodbronson. New Jersey Devils re-sign Kyle Palmieri and Colton Sevier. San Jose Sharks re-sign Barclay Goodrow and Marcus Sorensen. St. Louis Blues re-sign Jaden Schwartz, Braden Shen, and Tyler Bozak. Vancouver Canucks re-sign Paul Stastny and Kevin Shattenkirk. Washington Capitals re-sign David Krejci and Jonas Brodin. Arizona Coyotes re-sign Nicholas Jarmelson. Boston Bruins re-sign Travis Zajac. Calgary Flames re-sign Thomas Tatar. Detroit Red Wings re-sign Philip Grubauer. Adam Larson re-signs with the Edmonton Oilers. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins re-signs with the Florida Panthers. Minnesota Wild re-sign Marcus Foligno. And the Nashville Predators re-sign Nick Bonino. New York Islanders re-sign Casey Cizikas. Dougie Hamilton re-signs with the Ottawa Senators. Pittsburgh Penguins re-sign Nick Bjugstad. Andrew Cogliano re-signs with Seattle. Frederick Anderson re-signs with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Vegas Golden Knights re-sign Matt Niskanen. And the Winnipeg Jets re-sign Dustin Byfuglien. Anaheim Ducks sign Jonathan Bernier and Darren Helm. Buffalo Sabres sign Michael Grabner and Tobias Ryder. Edmonton Oilers sign Eric Stahl, Luke Glendening, and Jonas Korpisalo. LA Kings sign Alex Goligoski and Darcy Kemper. Minnesota Wild sign Philip Deneau and Brian Elliott. San Jose Sharks sign Jason Demers, Andre Sekera, Zach Smith, and Derek Ryan. Arizona Coyotes sign James Reimer. Carolina Hurricanes sign Matt Calvert. Chicago Blackhawks sign Sven Berchi. Carter Hutton signs with the Colorado Avalanche. Jordan Martinook signs with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Dallas Stars sign Riley Nash. And the Detroit Red Wings sign Nick Foligno. Pekka Rinne signs with the Florida Panthers. Montreal Canadiens sign Michael Raffle. Nashville Predators sign Antti Ranta. New Jersey Devils sign Adam Lowry. Jamie Oleksiak signs with the New York Rangers. And Brandon Dubinsky signs with the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is how Seattle's final roster looks like. The first line is Mike Hoffman, Bo Horvat, and Alex Tuch. The second line is Roope Hintz, Casey Mittelstadt, and Matt Zuccarello. The third line is Andrew Cogliano, Adam Gaudette, and Josh Anderson. The fourth line is Oscar Lindblom, Victor Rask, and Wayne Simmons. The first D pair is Adam Fox and Eric Cernak. The second D pair is Troy Stetcher and Neil Pionk. The third D pair is Jake McCabe and Cody Ceci. The goalies are Peter Mrazek and Robin Lehner. The spares are Nico Sturm, Nick Merkley, and TBR. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Ottawa Senators, followed by the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the New Jersey Devils, followed by the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Washington Capitals. The Pittsburgh Penguins hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Tampa Bay Lightning hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the New York Islanders, Philadelphia Flyers, Montreal Canadiens, New York Rangers, Detroit Red Wings, Carolina Hurricanes, Buffalo Sabres, and Boston Bruins. In first place in the Central Division are the Winnipeg Jets, followed by the St. Louis Blues and Colorado Avalanche. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Edmonton Oilers, followed by the LA Kings and Calgary Flames. The Chicago Blackhawks hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Vegas Golden Knights hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Minnesota Wild, Dallas Stars, Nashville Predators, Anaheim Ducks, Arizona Coyotes, Vancouver Canucks, San Jose Sharks, and Seattle. The New Jersey Devils and Edmonton Oilers meet in the Stanley Cup Finals, and the Edmonton Oilers win the Stanley Cup in 6 games. Pekka Rinne, Alex Steen, Jimmy Howard, Andrew Ladd, Andy Green, Franz Nelson, Brandon Dubinsky, Justin Abdelkader, Brian Boyle, Derek Ryan, Nate Thompson, and Anton Khudobin retire from the NHL. A 3-team trade is made between the Arizona Coyotes, Chicago Blackhawks, and Seattle. Seattle gets Jonathan Toews and Milan Lucic. Arizona Coyotes get Mike Hoffman and Brent Seabrook. Chicago Blackhawks get Christian Dvorak, Nico Sturm, Pierre-Olivier Joseph, a first-round pick in 2024, and a first-round pick in 2025. Another 3-team trade is made between the Florida Panthers, Washington Capitals, and Montreal Canadiens. Florida Panthers get Ilya Samsonov and Dominic Simone. Montreal Canadiens get Jacob Vrana, Drayden Hunt, and a second-round pick in 2025. Washington Capitals get Jesper Bratt, Caden Primo, and a first-round pick in 2024. Colorado Avalanche trade Martin Kaut to the Nashville Predators for Eli Tolvanen and a first-round pick in 2023. The Avalanche also trade a second-round pick in 2025 to the Florida Panthers for Hendrik Borgstrom. Detroit Red Wings acquired Jacob Silfverberg and J.C. Boudin from the Ottawa Senators for Joe Veleno and Dustin Brown. Then the Red Wings trade Andreas Athanasiou and Sonny Milano to the LA Kings for Kirby Dach, Paul Byron, and John Moore. Seattle trades Adam Gaudette, Andrew Cogliano, and a second-round pick in 2023 to the Minnesota Wild for Kevin Fiala. Then Seattle acquires Sven Baertschi from the Chicago Blackhawks for a third-round pick in 2024. Arizona Coyotes trade Nicholas Hjalmarsson to the Chicago Blackhawks for a third-round pick in 2025. Florida Panthers trade Keith Yandle and Jacob Markstrom to the Ottawa Senators for Alex Edler, Thomas Greiss, and a second-round pick in 2025. Montreal Canadiens trade Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Oscar Klefbom to the Philadelphia Flyers for Nolan Patrick, Igor Sumala, and a second-round pick in 2025. New Jersey Devils trade Nick Schmaltz, Jeremy Davies, and a first-round pick in 2025 to the Vancouver Canucks for Quentin Hughes and Antoine Roussel. Philadelphia Flyers trade Arthur Kaliyev to the Arizona Coyotes for a second-round pick in 2024. St. Louis Blues acquired Ben Hutton from the Vancouver Canucks for a second-round pick in 2024 and a third-round pick in 2025. A 3-team trade is made between the Anaheim Ducks, Vancouver Canucks, and Carolina Hurricanes. The Anaheim Ducks get Kevin Shattenkirk and Warren Foegele. Vancouver Canucks get Vladislav Nemesnikov, Isaac Ludstrom, and a second-round pick in 2026. Carolina Hurricanes get Jason Zucker and Christian Jaros. Anaheim Ducks re-sign Hampus Lindholm and Ricard Raquel. Calgary Flames re-sign Mark Giordano and Johnny Gaudreau. Carolina Hurricanes re-sign Corey Schneider and Nino Niederreiter. Columbus Blue Jackets re-sign Seth Jones and Boone Jenner. Detroit Red Wings re-sign Phil Kessel, Andre Palat, and Jeff Carter. Florida Panthers re-sign Alexander Barkov and Vincent Trocheck. New Jersey Devils re-sign Colton Parayko, Mackenzie Blackwood, and Antoine Roussel. Nashville Predators re-sign Philip Forsberg and Matthias Ekholm. Philadelphia Flyers re-sign Sean Couturier, Claude Giroux, and Alex Radulov. Pittsburgh Penguins re-sign Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, and Casey DeSmith. Toronto Maple Leafs re-sign Morgan Riley and Nazem Kadri. Vegas Golden Knights re-sign Marc-Andre Fleury, Riley Smith, Colin Miller, and Braden McNabb. Boston Bruins re-sign Patrice Bergeron. Buffalo Sabres re-sign Rasmus Ristolainen. Colorado Avalanche re-sign PK Subban. John Klingberg re-signs with the Dallas Stars. Phoenix Copley re-signs with the Montreal Canadiens. New York Islanders re-sign Cal Clutterbuck. Ottawa Senators re-sign Dustin Brown. Ryan Rust re-signs with the Pittsburgh Penguins. St. Louis Blues re-sign Patrick Maroon. San Jose Sharks re-sign Thomas Hertl. And the Winnipeg Jets re-sign Marcus Nudavara. Arizona Coyotes sign Ryan Strome and Colin Delia. Boston Bruins sign Mikko Koskinen and Johnny Boychuk. Chicago Blackhawks signed Leo Komarov and Eric Holla. Detroit Red Wings signed Sam Gagner and Johan Larsson. Montreal Canadiens signed Calle Jarnkrok, Miles Wood, and Andres Englund. Pittsburgh Penguins signed Connor Sheary and Joel Edmondson. Seattle signs Dan DeKaiser and Adam Lowry. San Jose Sharks signed David Perron and Nick Cousins. Tampa Bay Lightning signed Zach Smith and Victor Rask. Buffalo Sabres signed Bobby Ryan. Carolina Hurricanes signed Mike Green. Dallas Stars signed Troy Stetcher. Florida Panthers signed Matthias Janmark. Minnesota Wild signed Devin Shore. New Jersey Devils signed Jake Bouwmeester. Philadelphia Flyers signed Yaroslav Halak. St. Louis Blues signed Nick Leddy. Toronto Maple Leafs signed Robbie Fabry. Vancouver Canucks signed Olli Mata. Vegas Golden Knights signed Nikolai Goldobin. And the Winnipeg Jets signed Pontius Aberg. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Ottawa Senators, followed by the Montreal Canadiens and Boston Bruins. In first place in the Metro Division are the Philadelphia Flyers, followed by the New Jersey Devils and New York Rangers. The Pittsburgh Penguins hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Toronto Maple Leafs hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Columbus Blue Jackets, Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Carolina Hurricanes, New York Islanders, Detroit Red Wings, Washington Capitals, and Buffalo Sabres. In first place in the Central Division are the Winnipeg Jets, followed by the Nashville Predators and Colorado Avalanche. In first place in the Pacific Division are the LA Kings, followed by the Edmonton Oilers and Calgary Flames. The St. Louis Blues hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Dallas Stars hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Minnesota Wild, Vegas Golden Knights, Anaheim Ducks, Arizona Coyotes, Vancouver Canucks, San Jose Sharks, Seattle, and the Chicago Blackhawks. The Philadelphia Flyers and Edmonton Oilers meet in the Stanley Cup Finals, and the Edmonton Oilers win the Stanley Cup in 6 games. Duncan Keith, Milan Lucic, Yaroslav Halak, Darren Helm, Radko Gudas, and Alex Stalock retire from the NHL. A 3-team trade is made between the Florida Panthers, Arizona Coyotes, and Seattle. Florida Panthers get Bo Horvat, Eric Cernak, and Alex Tuck. Arizona Coyotes get Aaron Ekblad and Casey Mittelstadt. Seattle gets Vincent Trocheck, Ryan Strome, and a second-round pick in 2025. Another 3-team trade is made between the Carolina Hurricanes, Minnesota Wild, and Dallas Stars. The Carolina Hurricanes get Zach Parise, Joel Esperanza, and Benjamin Gleason. The Minnesota Wild get Dmitry Orlov and Andrei Svechnikov. Dallas Stars get Alexander Kovanov, Jake Bean, a first-round pick in 2024, and a second-round pick in 2025. To the Montreal Canadiens for Ryan Poole, Nick Suzuki, Ryan Dzingel, and a first-round pick in 2024. If the Canadiens make it to the second round of the playoffs, the Blackhawks get a second-round pick in 2026. The Chicago Blackhawks also trade Cameron McDonald, Gustav Forsling, and a second-round pick in 2025 to the Edmonton Oilers for Jake Muzzin. Colorado Avalanche trade Dylan Cozens and Patrick Hornquist to the Arizona Coyotes for Barrett Hayton, Pavel Buchnevich, and a first-round pick in 2025. Then the Colorado Avalanche trade Brendan Dillon and a first-round pick in 2026 to the Florida Panthers for Michael Matheson. New York Rangers trade Troy Terry to the Colorado Avalanche for a second-round pick in 2024 and a second-round pick in 2026. The Rangers also trade Alexander Gorgiev to the LA Kings for a second-round pick in 2025. Anaheim Ducks acquired Devin Shore from the Minnesota Wild for a third-round pick in 2024. Arizona Coyotes trade Brandon Sutter to the Winnipeg Jets for a second-round pick in 2026. Columbus Blue Jackets trade Nikolai Ehlers to the Washington Capitals for a first-round pick in 2024. Calgary Flames trade David Rittich to the Minnesota Wild for Brian Elliott and a third-round pick in 2026. Florida Panthers trade Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Leiber Hayek to the Minnesota Wild for Victor Soderstrom, Philip Deneau, and a second-round pick in 2025. If the Wild make the playoffs, the second-round pick becomes a first-round pick. LA Kings trade Tyler Bertuzzi to the Columbus Blue Jackets for a second-round pick in 2024 and a third-round pick in 2025. Minnesota Wild acquired Jake Oettinger from the Dallas Stars for Jake Allen and a second-round pick in 2026. Montreal Canadiens acquire Andrew Ladd and a first-round pick in 2026 from the Buffalo Sabres for a third-round pick in 2026. New York Islanders trade Anthony Beauvillier and Dominic Cahoon to the Florida Panthers for Alex Tuck and a third-round pick in 2026. Vancouver Canucks trade Max Pacioretty and Tyson Jost to the Florida Panthers for Saron Noel, Alexei Hepanimi, and a first-round pick in 2025. Washington Capitals acquired Michael McLeod from the San Jose Sharks for a third-round pick in 2024. A 3-way trade is made between the New York Islanders, Columbus Blue Jackets, and Anaheim Ducks. Columbus Blue Jackets get Joe Pavelski and Josh Manson. Anaheim Ducks get Noah Dobson and Kasperi Kapanen. New York Islanders get Dylan DeMello, Frank Petrano, Andre Kasse, and a first-round pick in 2026. Calgary Flames re-sign Sean Monahan and Brian Elliott. Colorado Avalanche re-sign Nathan McKinnon and Patrick Hornquist. Florida Panthers re-sign Max Pacioretty and Bo Horvat. LA Kings re-sign Jonathan Quick and Alexander Gorgiev. Minnesota Wild re-signed Matt Dumba and David Rittich. New York Rangers re-signed Lars Eller and Laurent Brossoit. Philadelphia Flyers re-signed Shane Gostisbehere and Oscar Klefbom. Pittsburgh Penguins re-signed Eric Johnson, James Neal, and Brian Dumoulin. St. Louis Blues re-signed Vladimir Tarasenko and Ryan O'Reilly. Seattle re-signed Jonathan Toews, Peter Mrazek, and Robin Lehner. Boston Bruins re-signed David Pastrnak. Carolina Hurricanes re-signed Jordan Staal. Detroit Red Wings re-signed Dylan Larkin. Kevin LeBlanc re-signs with the Edmonton Oilers. Keith Yandel re-signs with the Ottawa Senators. San Jose Sharks re-signed Jonathan Drouin. And the Vancouver Canucks re-signed Damon Severson. Anaheim Ducks signed James Van Riemsdyk. Buffalo Sabres signed Jack Johnson. Detroit Red Wings signed Nick Jensen. Edmonton Oilers signed Teddy Bluger. Alex Killorn signs with the Minnesota Wild. JT Miller signs with the Montreal Canadiens. Darcy Kemper signs with the New York Islanders. New York Islanders signed Darcy Kemper. Paul Byron signs with Seattle. Toronto Maple Leafs signed Alexander Wenberg. And Jordan Staal signs with the Vancouver Canucks. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Ottawa Senators, followed by the Boston Bruins and Montreal Canadiens. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Columbus Blue Jackets, followed by the Philadelphia Flyers and New Jersey Devils. The Pittsburgh Penguins hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Toronto Maple Leafs hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, New York Rangers, Detroit Red Wings, Buffalo Sabres, Washington Capitals, Carolina Hurricanes, and New York Islanders. In first place in the Central Division are the Winnipeg Jets, followed by the Colorado Avalanche and the St. Louis Blues. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Edmonton Oilers, followed by the Calgary Flames and Anaheim Ducks. The LA Kings hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Arizona Coyotes hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Nashville Predators, Dallas Stars, Minnesota Wild, San Jose Sharks, Vegas Golden Knights, Chicago Blackhawks, Seattle, and the Vancouver Canucks. The Columbus Blue Jackets and Colorado Avalanche meet in the Stanley Cup Finals, and the Colorado Avalanche win the Stanley Cup in 7 games. After sitting through 5 seasons with the historic rosters, a lot has changed in the NHL. The biggest winners in this scenario are Edmonton Oilers, Ottawa Senators, LA Kings, New Jersey Devils, Columbus Blue Jackets, and Colorado Avalanche. The biggest losers in this scenario are the San Jose Sharks, Chicago Blackhawks, New York Islanders, Carolina Hurricanes, and the Buffalo Sabres. Just take Wayne Gretzky for example. In this scenario, he never wins the Stanley Cup and isn't putting up the crazy stats he did in the 80s, and therefore, he might not be viewed as the undisputed GOAT anymore. The Edmonton Oilers are a powerhouse, led by the dynamic trio of Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Sergei Fedorov, and backstopped by Sergei Bobrovsky. They have won 2 Stanley Cups. The Colorado Avalanche are also a powerhouse. They are led by the dynamic trio of Nathan MacKinnon, Peter Forsberg, and Mikko Rantanen, and backstopped by Patrick Waugh. They too have won 2 Stanley Cups. The biggest takeaway from this scenario is that putting NHL legends from different eras in the current NHL would ultimately affect their legacy. This is really the beauty of what-if scenarios, because you can make something that could never happen and turn it into a hypothetical scenario. Next, what if current NHL stars played in the 1980s?